let me orientate you here. We are trying to cultivate beautiful apples, which is repeat and referral business. You get repeat and referral business from people, from relationships. So the apple tree itself, where the apples grow, is your database. Those are the people in your life. And yes, the very simple principle, the more you keep in touch with people, the more you use certain dialogues with people when you are in contact with them, the more referrals you're going to get. It's just as simple as that. It's like that thing with Regis, at a slightly less relational level. If you go into Regis and you build relationships and you're around other human beings and you get into conversations, it's just unavoidable. That's how real estate works. Now, this kind of puts it on steroids because you're building strong value-based relationships with the same group of people and having ongoing conversations with them so that they become supercharged sources of referral for you, who give you referrals constantly. And we are going to call those people your advocates. So I'd say to you, you need to have a minimum of 100, up to 300 advocates is ideal. And the way you do that is you start by building a big list of names. You then sort that list down to your 300 advocates. Everybody else goes on a B list, which is going to be your big list. And once you've sorted it, you capture it on PropCon or Rep or whatever CRM system you're using. And then that big job was to phone through your database and prime them using the database primer dialogue. And I've got lots of feedback offline from people. So Kumile got 150 million rand worth of listings from those phone calls that she did. Jade Barkhazen said on our mastermind group the other day that he's got so much business he doesn't know what to do with it because of the phone calls that he made. So again, guys, if you're just watching this like a Netflix show, like a movie, and it's just, I don't know, you get some kind of pleasure by just watching me drone on about a referral system, and then life goes back to normal the moment you get off this call and you don't go and do anything, why bother? But, the good news is that we know this system works. This thing has been used with literally tens of thousands of people one-on-one through myself and through what Brian Buffini has done with his organization in the States. We've coached tens of thousands of people one-on-one to do this. And like all doubt whether it works, any like kinks in the system have been ironed out. We absolutely know this thing works if you just go and do it. So please do take it seriously, guys. It can change your financial future. So you built, sort, captured, and primed a database. We then looked at a couple of the dialogues. We've looked at the database primer dialogue, which is that one I was talking about now. Then the database filter dialogue was kind of a version of that, where you're meeting new people. So you're at the Regis office for the first time, and how do you add someone to your database? You get into a conversation, they ask you what you do, you say you're a real estate agent, you ask them what they do, you have a lack of conversation. How do you then add them to your database so you can begin keeping in touch with them? Well, you just use that database filter dialogue, which was, hey, if you were buying or selling your home, or you had a friend or a family member who was, do you have an agent you'd refer them to? Just learn that question off by heart. If you were buying or selling your home, you had a friend or a family member who was, do you have an agent you'd refer them to? They'd say no. You say, great, let me tell you why. I've got a program called my Trusted Advisor program. I keep in touch with people. I keep them up to date about what's happening on the property market. I'd love to keep in touch with you too. How does that sound? Yeah, sounds great. Great. Boom. They go on your database. They may not be an advocate immediately. They may be a B, so they just get the monthly newsletter in the beginning. But you never know. Sometimes, in fact, this will happen. Some Bs are going to start referring you, and you very quickly bump them up to an advocate. Then they start getting the bigger system with the phone calls and the invitations, the handwritten notes, and all of that. Okay, so that's the dialogues. We looked a little bit at service excellence and the importance of providing or giving people a reason to talk about you. That's an important discussion which we've had. And now we're on to the written communication. So what's this all about? Well, if you want to build long-term value-based relationships with your database, you have to communicate with them using multiple touch types. 2 categories: written communication, you're going to send them stuff. Okay, value-based communication is delivered through written communication. You're going to send them stuff that's valuable. Then you can't just send people stuff and have that build relationships. You've got to follow up written communication with personal contact. Now that's the rainfall on the apple tree. So, and there's different touch types within each of those categories we're going to be going through. Last time we did handwritten notes. Now today we're moving to the second. And by the way, if I were you, I'd print out the apple tree. I know there's a lot of blue ink in it. Doesn't matter. It's only one page. Print out the apple tree and keep it up to date, so that at the end of the day, you can put that up on your board next to your computer, and you've got one place where the whole referral system is. And in the email that I sent out after the meeting with the replayers, you can always download the slides. That's always a link in the email, so you can get the apple tree from there. Okay, so items of value. This is now the next little piece of the puzzle, and it is the most important part of the referral system. Everything else works off, it's like the hub of the wheel, that everything works off of these items of value. So the foundational technique is to create a consistent referrals, is to faithfully send. That's a split infinitive. The two should actually be after faithfully. Is faithfully to send an item of value to your advocates every month. Okay, so once a month, you're going to send some kind of item of value. Items of value form the hub of your trusted advisor program. They create a wonderful talking point off which everything else can operate. They are the very heart of your referral system. Okay, what I mean by that is, you're going to see later on as we get into the system on the phone calls, you're going to be phoning your advocates every 6 weeks. Each advocate gets a call every 6 weeks. And when you phone them, you've got to have something to talk about. You know, maybe some of you you find it easier just to make a conversation. You kind of sound in personality, and you find it easy. For a lot of us, you want to have something in your back pocket when you phone them, that like if it's a little bit awkward, you can just say, oh, it's no. You can just say, anyway, the reason for my call is just want to make sure you got this month's little item that I sent out on the bond application process. You know, we have a lot of clients who struggle with bonds, and in fact, we've seen how important it is to get pre-qualified, and so I thought I'd just send something out on that. You know, have a little story to tell, so that now you've got you know 200-300 phone calls you need to make in the next 6 weeks, and every single one of them, you know, I've got something to say. I'm going to talk about the value item. I've got the little story about Jane who pre-qualified, and then she got out so much quicker, and she beat the other buyer because the other buyer wasn't qualified. I've got a little story to tell. Now I'm safe. It's much easier to make the phone calls if you've got something to talk about. Okay, so the value items. Now, a little parable. So how do we draft our value items? Like, what do you do for your items of value? Well, I want to illustrate this using a parable. So now you're going to use the chat bar. Okay, bottom right-hand corner, there's a little square speech bubble on your computer. Click it, it'll open the chat bar. And I want you to all put words in the chat bar. So a man's disabled son wins the lottery. He and his wife are completely uneducated about administering money, but they want to be sure that wise decisions are made because the money will be able to ensure the boy's health and care for the rest of his life, which could quite easily be another 50, 60 years. You need to look for a person who can administer the finances and come alongside the family to guide and counsel them through the years ahead. Now, here's my question to you. Ideally, what are all the attributes that the man and his wife would want in the person to whom they will entrust this responsibility? Okay, so give me some words in the chat bar, what they're looking for in this person. Okay, trustworthy. Yep, so I guess that kind of means honest. Yep, honesty, firstly, integrity, absolutely. And then I like what Patrick says, capable. Good. Trustworthy and knowledgeable. Okay, good, Sharon, excellent. That's both sides of it. Honesty, trust, empathy, good, Renee. Empathy, you would want the person to kind of understand the situation and have a heart for the family. Responsible, yes. So it's someone who you can rely on, dependable. Yeah, Simon says dependable. It's not like he makes promises and then you can't get hold of the guy. Loyalty, loyal to the family, constant communications, in touch. Someone who's accessible, I guess, would be another way of putting that, Lolita. That's good. Patient with the family, yes, because they don't know what they're talking about. Things need to be explained in simple terms. Yes, patient. Okay, now, as you look through all of the answers there, you're going to find that they actually fall into two categories. And the category on the left-hand side, so this is like things you might say: honest, caring, experienced, expert, accessible, faithful, accountable, committed. Now, on the left-hand side, we're going to talk about character traits that demonstrate what I'm calling character or maturity or trustworthiness. A lot of the words you saw there were about that. So dependable, loyal, caring, empathetic, patient, all of those speak to the person's character. That this is the kind of person they can trust with this responsibility. It's not going to run off with money. Okay? But, now Sharon Moodley is one of the nicest, most trustworthy people on the planet. I would, if I discovered a chest of jewels that was hidden by a pirate, and I needed to leave the treasure map with someone just for a day, because I had important business, I would give the treasure map to Sharon and say, Sharon, please just keep this for me. Because I know Sharon would not go and dig up the treasure.
I will bury it in the soil and keep it.
However, if I needed my tonsils out, okay, her character is impeccable, trustworthy to a fault. But if I needed my tonsils out, am I going to go to Sharon?
You're going to go to Sharon's son. He's a surgeon.
Exactly. I'm going to Sharon's son, who's a surgeon. I'm not going to Sharon, because if I go to Sharon, I'm going to go to Sharon and I'm going to take a very short trip to my Heavenly Father straight after that. Because I'm not surviving that surgery. Sharon would give it her best shot. I know she'd be all heart, but there'd be no technique. So the other thing we need this person to have, we need them to have, I'm trying to just look in the chat bar, somebody said capable. So Patrick Mayer used the word capable. Sharon used the word knowledgeable. This person has to have what we're calling competence. These are the two things required that you need to establish yourself in people's minds if they are going to refer you consistently. They have to know that your character is sound. They can trust you. They feel safe with you and referring their family and friends to you, obviously. But also you are a skilled real estate professional, that you know what you're doing. That's your job. Now, I don't care what you actually do, whether you build a referral system or you decide, no, you're going to build your business on social media. That's how you're going to get all your leads, or whatever, even if you're cold calling. I don't care what you do. These are the two things that you are trying to convince people about: your character and your competence. So here's the question. Why don't we use Godfrey? Let's turn your mic off, please. Sorry, guys, just had to mute our friend Godfrey. Why don't we use the items of value that go every month to communicate these two things strategically? Okay, so we are going to have 50-50. Half your, about, doesn't have to be exactly, but about half your items of value are going to communicate character. So these are communicated by items of value that are personal in nature. Personal in nature. So examples would be, you send someone a Mother's Day card, or you send flowers on Mother's Day to your advocates. client parties, clients' birthday parties and kids, Christmas labels, lottery tickets, free car wash coupons. Okay, these are kind of coupons and stuff. I want to talk more about the actual items of value that you send out. But I'm going to show you examples in a second so you can see what I'm talking about. Competence is communicated by professional items of value. So items of value that communicate your competence as an estate agent. So let's look at some examples. These are examples of items of value we used to produce for our coaching clients many years ago, but just to give you an idea. So professional items of value, here's one. Get your plans passed easily. Purchasing a property is a big decision. Most people look for houses with a shopping list of requirements, 3 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, blah, blah, blah. But what could be more important are the unseen restrictions, especially if you're planning to renovate a property. So then there's a little thing written by an architect for us about how to get your plans passed. That's a professional item of value, communicating your competence as an agent. And by the way, you don't have to write these things yourself. Well, we'll get into that in a second. Okay, stop that drip was another one. So how do here are step-by-step guidelines for solving 2 of the most common plumbing problems yourself. It's property related. It's communicating your competence as an agent. 21 signs that you know how to handle money. Anything, it doesn't have to be property related. If it's financial in nature, it's also communicating your competence as an agent. Somebody they can trust. Somebody who understands money. Your garden can help you sell your home. So some tips and techniques on the role your garden plays. How sweet is your home? This was one we did on what is the CMA and what is the importance of a CMA? Why should people get a CMA regularly? Quite a nice little design at that Monopoly board. 7 Cures for a Lean Purse. This was excerpts from George Classen's book, The Richest Man in Babylon. We took 7 of the principles from one of the chapters, and we created a little item of value. So again, your understanding of money. So that's professional items of value. A couple of them were double-sided, so you can do double-sided items of value. This is a good one. The sad tale of an overpriced turkey, which is an overpriced home. And it was the pitfalls of overpricing. So this, I mean, you know, this would probably be in my listing pack if I was shopping something with people before I do a listing presentation with them. So it talks about how if you overprice your home initially, you end up selling for below market value. Okay, then personal items of value on the other side of the spectrum. First aid tips. Home first aid. What should you have in a home first aid kit? So this is communicating your care for their family. This is communicating more of your personal character, etc. Annual planting guide. I suppose this could function as a professional one. But anyway, quite a nice little planting guide for all of the popular flowers in South Africa and what month of the year you should plant them. Spot remover. How to remove whatever is on your couch. Candle wax, chewing gum, butter, gravy, salad dressing, other greasy food, red wine. There's all these kind of grandmother's solutions for spots removal. So we did an item of value on it, quite cool. Vitamins. So both of those are double-sided. So the major vitamin groups and what they do for you. Personal item of value. Okay, you get the idea. For maximum effect, you need to both. Is everyone listening? Because this is going to be an important point that somebody is probably going to want to argue with, and I can tell you, don't argue with me, because I know what I'm talking about. Maximum effect, both email and post your item of value every month. Yeah, so the email goes to everybody, goes to the B list and to your advocate. It's just your monthly newsletter. The hard copy goes to just the advocates. So yes, it means printing out your value item in color every month, stacking envelopes, putting the address on the envelopes, which can be done automated. Hey, you can bulk print labels with people's addresses on them. You don't have to handwrite 300 envelopes every month. This is a prime candidate, guys, for a task for a personal assistant. They do your value item every month. Maybe you guys can combine and collaborate and employ people together who just does your value items every month. You could even collaborate on the value items themselves. Why don't you do that? Get together, and because you've all got different people in your databases probably. And then post them out. The impact is 10 times greater if somebody gets the item of value posted to them in the mail with an old school stamp on the envelope, and then maybe a week earlier they've received the email with it as well. They know you're serious about this thing, and then you're going to follow up with a phone call sometime in the next 6 weeks. Hey, did you get the little value item on the seasonal planting guide? What are you planning to do with your garden this summer? Boom, straight in with conversations with your advocates. All right, so we're now going to change gears. Everybody got it? That's what value items are. You send them out once a month. You both email and post them. Okay. How do you draft? How do you get yourself a nice calendar for the next 12, 24, 36 months on what your value items are going to be every month? Well, we are going to use ChatGPT. And no one better to tell you all about that than Andre Forster, but you're going to have to put up with me today. So I've got a PDF. That's the front page of the PDF. Using ChatGPT to draft a 12-month calendar for your monthly items of value. I'm now going to show you on my screeny the PDF itself. Okay, there it is. So let's have a quick look. As Andre has taught us, the most important thing with ChatGPT is the prompts you put into it. The better the prompts, the better the output. So this little thing I'm going to email all of you is it is you can cut and paste the prompts. It's done for you. You can say thank you later. Okay? And I got this from a guy who is a professional ChatGPT guy in the States. Okay? You just copy this and you paste it into ChatGPT. Prompt number 1. Obviously, you have to anything in italics here. You have to customize yourself. So I am a real estate agent with eXp Realty in Cape Town, South Africa. Upper Kenilworth, Cape Town, South Africa. Be specific. I need help crafting the unique value proposition in order to attract home buyers and sellers to my services. I have been an agent for 10 years, and in that time, I have achieved average results. The reasons for this are describe what best describes the reason for the results you've achieved. Be honest with ChatGPT. It needs to know who you are. My greatest accomplishments to date have been list your achievements and awards. I've just listed an 80 million rand property from blah, 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 blah. With my strongest assets being, list your strongest assets, gifts, and abilities, and you all have them. My goal is to attract as many. Now, describe your perfect client. So, as many sellers of homes in the upper southern suburbs of Cape Town with a value of greater than 4 million rand as I can using my unique value proposition. I need my UVP to be clear and compelling. It should quickly inform buyers, sellers, and influencers why they should use me as their real estate agent. I want you to focus on the unique benefits I offer and help me determine how I can set myself apart from others in the marketplace. I want you to have a deep understanding of my business. Sorry, lost my place. I want you to have a deep understanding of business, target audience success, and what sets me apart from competitors. This UVP should resonate with my target audience and highlight my unique strengths and benefits. In order to help me craft this, please, now here, this is the big thing here. Please ask me 25 most important questions you need to know, ChatGPT, in order to craft the perfect UVP to the best of your ability. Your detailed understanding is crucial for my business. So what ChatGPT is going to do is it's going to now say, certainly, Sharon, absolutely no problem. Here are 25 questions to help me understand you and your business. it'll spit out 25 questions it wants you to answer. Now, cut and paste those 25 questions into a Word document so that you can work on it. Answer the 25. This is the biggest work of the whole thing, okay? It will probably take you 2 hours to answer the questions. It's worth it. You do it once. ChatGPT will remember it forever. If you use that same chat, you can keep asking it questions below. It's going to remember everything that was above it. So answer the 25 questions in a Word document. Once you've got the answers, copy, paste them into ChatGPT and just say this. Here are the answers to your questions. You paste them in, you hit enter. It's then going to spit out a UVP for you, a unique value proposition. Then cut and paste, copy and paste this prompt into the thing straight afterwards. Generate a list of 100 high value, super interesting, lesser known and clickbait style content ideas, each tailored specifically for attracting buyers, sellers, and influencers in my target market to me and my team if you've got one. The ideas should be intriguing, offering valuable insights and highlighting my unique niche in the real estate market. About half the ideas should be non-professional in nature, communicating warmth and character and humor and personal reliability. The other half of the ideas should be professional in nature, communicating my competence as a real estate agent. It's important that each of them holds genuine value for my audience. These topics should not only educate, but also showcase my depth of knowledge in the real estate domain or build rapport and warmth and trust. The ultimate aim is to curate a diverse range of topics that resonate with current or potential homeowners, establishing me as their go-to real estate agent. This list will serve as a foundation for a year-long content calendar across various digital platforms, aiming to maximize value and engagement in my effort to generate buyer and seller leads for my business. Okay, so now it's going to spit out 100 content ideas. Okay, now some of them will be good for social media, some will be good for the newsletter and value items, but it's going to give you 100 ideas. Now you need it to turn those into newsletter content, okay? So prompt number 4, once it's giving you the 100 ideas, here's the next prompt. Thank you. Remember to say thank you to ChatGPT. Just because it's a bot doesn't mean you have to be polite. It's so funny. My wife's got frozen shoulder at the moment, which is an absolutely ghastly thing. I don't know if any ladies out there have had frozen shoulder, but it's terrible. And I said to ChatGPT, so we were sitting at the kitchen counter and we were like at our wits' end because she's in such pain. And I said to ChatGPT, my wife has frozen shoulder, and we asked for advice. And Danielle was like, why are you telling it it's your wife? Like, should you say I have frozen shoulder? I said, no, I'm talking to ChatGPT. Like, my wife has frozen shoulder, and then it spits out. The first thing that ChatGPT says, I'm so sorry to hear about your wife's shoulder. And then it carries on and gives us the answers. I said, you see, ChatGPT feels sorry for you. Oh, it's ridiculous. So thank you. Using these 100 content ideas above, I'd like you to help me construct a content calendar for my email newsletter, specifically aimed at attracting buyers, sellers, and influencers in my target market to me. The primary objective is to establish me as the dominant real estate agent in my area and offer substantial value to my audience. The content should be informative and engaging, tailored to catch the attention of anyone thinking of buying or selling a property in my area, or people able to refer me to such. I will plan to send one newsletter each month over the course of a year, totaling 12 issues. Focus on crafting captivating, should take that comma away. Focus on crafting captivating, clickbait style subject lines to encourage high open rates. Each subject line should adhere to the following guidelines: no more than 9 words, a maximum of 60 characters, a limit of 1 emoji, and no more than 3 punctuation marks. Arrange these subject lines in a visually appealing table format, resembling a calendar. The subject lines and content should reflect your deep understanding of my unique value proposition and my personal insights and experiences with the industry in order to create a compelling and attractive narrative for buyers, sellers, and influencers. So it's now going to spit out 12 subject lines for the 12 emails. Now, all we need to do is get it to write the actual emails for us. And that's what the last prompt is. Yep, this is the end. So then the final prompt is, for each email, you're going to do this. Using the in-depth understanding of our business and the unique value propositions I offer, create an email newsletter that resonates deeply with home buyer sellers and influencers in the market. The email should be tied to my target audience, focusing on what sets me apart. Key points to include: target audience engagement, address the aspirations and challenges of homeowners, sellers in my target market, demonstrate authority and expertise, share insights, success stories, or data that will help these home buyers, sellers, and influencers feel safe with me as their trusted property advisor. And 3, tone and style. Ensure the content is engaging and informative, yet approachable. It should evoke a sense of trust and confidence in me as their trusted property advisor. The email should be around 175 words in length. Ensure the content is comprehensive, yet concise. Your creativity and insights in crafting this email are vital. Please craft this email about the subject you gave me for, and then you take the first one and you paste it in. Please also suggest 5 images that can accompany the newsletter, relating well to the content of the email and also inspiring confidence in me as their trusted property advisor. Okay, now you remember the value items I showed you earlier, each had images with content. Okay? Now, this is what we're asking ChatGPT to suggest to us, the images we should be using. Now, I'm going to show you how to do this yourself. You say, I don't have a graphic designer. I don't want to pay a graphic designer. This is going to be too expensive if I'm paying someone to do all this stuff. This is why you don't have to. ChatGPT will write the emails for you if you go through that process. Now, how do you design them? I'm going to show you how to design it yourself now. If you can't use Canva or EXP's Global Marketing Center to create these, learn to use PowerPoint or Keynote. What is Keynote? It's the Mac version of PowerPoint. Okay, I use Keynote actually, but PowerPoint does exactly the same thing. Use PowerPoint or Keynote to quickly design your value items. Okay, so I am now going to show you how quickly you can do this using a video. I think it's a 3.5-minute video in which I create the value item that you see on your screen there. Now I need to stop sharing my screen for a second, and I need to tab, design. Oh, good. I can just go straight there. Okay, I'm going to play a video to you now, which shows you how I did that. So concentrate. Here we go. Somebody just put a thumbs up in the chat bar if you can hear the audio. Okay. I'm going to show you how easy it is to create a beautiful value item that can be printed. Take it down to the local printer, but you're going to do the design yourself, and you can do this using PowerPoint, or as I've got on my screen here, Keynote, which is Apple's version of PowerPoint. First thing you want to do is change the dimensions of the slide to an A4 page. A4, so on Keynote, you do that by clicking the Documents tab, and then under Slide Size, click the drop down, and then Custom Slide Size. We're going to go with 210. I'm going to add a note to it, by 297, add a note to it, because an A4 page, the dimensions are 210 by 297. Okay, great. There we go. There's our A4 page. Now I'm going to put a text box in there, but first I'm going to go to ChatGPT. So what I did was I asked ChatGPT to write me an article with 175 words with nicely laid out headings about 6 essential tips to sell your home. So this is just by way of illustration. So what I'm going to do is I am going to highlight the article, and I am going to click Command C, which is Control C on a PC. To copy the text, we are going to put a text box in here and simply paste our article in. Right, our article is set up there. We are now going to change the font size to That looks good. All right, our heading is going to say, this ChatGPT's thing, preparing your home to sell 6 essential tips. All right, we're going to paste this into a little text box here. And we're going to put it at the top. Let's use Roboto, which is EXP's font for everything. It's going to need to come down in size a little bit more again. That we want bigger, and we want this in bold and black font again. Okay, so our article is taking shape. Now what we need is we need an image behind this. So what we're going to do is you can go to any number of websites online where you can get free images, royalty free images. Pixabay is one of them. And we are going to search for an image. Let's just try this, moving home. See if they've got any images for me. Oh, they do. Okay, great. We are preferably going to look for an A4 image. So that we could use. That would definitely work. That could work. Any kind of homey image. You don't have to have someone with boxes, etc. So let's just pick one, and I'll show you. I mean, you could be more discerning if you wanted to about which image you want. Okay, let's use this one just for fun. You click on it. You click download. I want as big a copy as I want. So I want the 4,000 by 6,000, and I'm going to click download. Okay, excellent. I'm not going to donate at this time. Now what to do is we drag this image into our PowerPoint slide. And we are going to just resize it so that it covers the full expanse of the slide. Right-click, send to back, and boom, there's our article. Now we obviously need to change the font to white, and this font to white. And what might make it a little bit easier to see also is a shadow. All right, so I've just put a little shadow into the text, and there you have it. Now what you do is you may want to put your branding, your logo, and a little, maybe your contact details at the bottom of it. That would be fine. Then you're going to go File. This is on Keynote. It'll be something very similar in PowerPoint. File, Export, PDF. And yes, we want best quality because there's an image in there. Save. And we're just going to save this as preparing your home item of value. It's going to export that as a PDF. So what I'll do now for you is I will go to that particular folder, and I am going to just open up the PDF. So here it is as a PDF. It's going a bit crazy because it's too big. There's the PDF. You take it down to your copy shop. You print 100 to 300 of them. How many advocates you got? You put them in envelopes and you post them. That's how easy graphic design is to do on your own at home without the cost of a graphic designer. So, what do you think about that? You can pull that off.
So we changed the color to yellow to make it more energetic.
Sorry. Questions? Any questions? I can tell you what, Morris, let me open for questions after I've just finished I've got like 1 or 2 more slides that I want to show, and then I'll open it up for questions.
Sorry, I just wanted to say great.
You like that, eh?
Awesome. Yes, thank you.
Yeah. No, it's just amazing how much stuff you can just do on your own if you know how to, just get around the system. Okay, so that was how to produce your own value items. Remember, the TAP system works, Trusted Advisor Program, the referral system, it works because you're combining different touch types. So here's the follow-up. The following formula must be followed after you send each month's item of value. Make a follow-up phone call, and then send them a handwritten note. It's going to be a little bit more complex than that. because you send notes every 12 weeks and that. This, just have that as a paradigm in your mind. You're sending a value item every month, and then you follow up with a phone call, and after the phone call, you get a handwritten note. That base, if that's all you ever did as a referral system, it would be incredible. Now we're going to add a few dialogues and things on top of that, but that's the skeleton of a referral system right there. Value item, phone call, handwritten note. That's it. You can't believe the depth of relationships that'll build for you. Okay, steps towards mastery. Using the ChatGPT prompts, plan and draft your monthly items of value for the next 12 months. So go through the ChatGPT exercise, design and produce them, and then design and produce them using the PowerPoint trick. That's your homework for the next 2 weeks. Don't produce the 12 value items for the next 12 months. You do this, you've got your newsletter sorted for the next 12 months. All right, next time we're going to look at the launch letters. There's one of two letters you're going to use with the very first item of value you post out or the emails that you send. Okay. The one's called the introduction letter, the other one's called the guilt letter. And that's where we're going next. Right, that is me for the day at 9:30. Got through a lot today, but I think it was valuable. Hopefully you picked up something. Happy to take questions if you've got them. Stick up a hand. Annalie. Annalie, you just need to unmute your mic.
Sorry, I would like to add something to your 12 value items. I would also include the EXP logo and your contact details on there, because many times people forward that information and then those people could also contact you.
For sure. Anybody else got a comment or a question you want to make on any of this? Okay, good. Guys, God bless you. Have a wonderful 2 weeks, and I hope you're keeping up with this.